We have Caprice today. Master Marisa. Let's see what the level is at. How I can help you improve your game. If I can. So these matches are not about you beating me or me beating you. So just have fun, alright? It's not an exam or anything. Let's see if I know how to play Marisa still. You have more warm-up than I have.
Yeah, I was playing ranked earlier, so.
Should have spent the bar. Oh. The chimichangas with a perfect to the coach. Alright.
Marisa wins. Round one. Fight.
Ah. Why are you stuck on 1500?
I don't know.
I might know why. Oh, wow, again? My poor Marisa.
Marisa wins. Round one. Fight.
Oh. Bro, you're so lucky.
Round two. Fight. Marisa wins. Round one. Fight. Round two. Fight.
Oops. Uh-oh.
Marisa wins.
The reverse 3-0 coming.
Fight.
There we go. Alright.
Now you know history.
Marisa, win.
Alright, so I'm gonna change characters now. Yeah. I think my Ryu's ready for that, but alright.
Now, find a new rival.
Oh, you come from Third Strike?
No.
Let us begin. Round one.
No, I started with like Street Fighter 4 like arcade edition.
Huh. Yeah, my Ryu is not ready for that.
Round two. Fight.
Oh, that's I didn't want that.
Oh, what? Here I was thinking that you should have level 3 on the previous interaction, but I guess it doesn't matter.
I mean, I felt bad burning myself out there. Like, this is like that's probably not a good idea. But then I guess it worked out.
It wasn't, but I mean, if it works out. A messy combo. I gambled. I gambled too hard. Oh no! Oh, nice.
No, no.
Oh no. come on.
Oh, and then. Oh,
Messy interactions. Alright. Alright, let's go to the training area. Right here. So, what do you think you struggle the most? Or why do you think you're stuck at 1500? I personally believe that you're not a 1500s player. I mean, you should be a little bit higher up, but yeah, you tell me what do you think is going?
I feel like maybe I could use better defense and like maybe a little bit better better end tiers and stuff like that. A little bit less risk when I need to close out rounds and stuff. That's what I would think, but I don't know. I also tend to just kind of get really shaky on ranked, like just emotionally like up and down.
So I think what you must be experiencing right now, because I've been there recently because I switched to Rashid, is that people at these ranks they have absolutely zero respect, right? They throw things out, and I think it gets harder for you to deal with the thing, right? Especially because I've never saw you doing an OD Gladius, right? To try and interrupt me of anything, right? I've also noticed that you tend to do this way too much, and you know the follow up on this is really, you know, it's not so great, right? You can what can you do after this? You can just do that, right? Because this is only +4, right? So you cannot do anything else. So you should try and get better interactions, like going in. I mean, it's not bad that you use this, but I think that you should have more variety on that, especially because, well, if you do this, you know, you can combo into this, right? So I know you're looking for a low, right? But the thing is that this gets a lot more reward if it hits, right? So you should be looking for that, and also, you know, doing this leaves you at +2 for more mix-up. So it's not only about getting the thing that you're looking for, because you're probably looking for, you know, the knockdown, right? You're probably looking for the knockdown and then do the stuff. But when you do this and you get +2, then you get kind of a mix-up on what's going to happen next. So if you do this and then it's into this, then you're gonna trade with a jab, and that will lead you to do your combo, right? So if you try mashing jab after this, oh, see, that's, if I do it properly, it's not happening today. Yep, it's not happening. Well, maybe because of the lag, I don't know. But this, oh no, this is 7 frames. No, never mind. But yeah, you should be using this more and try to, you know, catch people pressing stuff, doing stuff, right? Because unless you're expecting, you know, that specifically, yeah, if you do a light, then you will get a hit, right? And then you can switch up to throw in a medium and stuff like that, right? Yeah. People cannot just mash out there, right? Other things. I felt like at times your offense was very, very well structured. You have a really good offense most of the time, but sometimes it went a little bit shaky. It was like you were trying too hard to get things done, right? So you started throwing stuff like this, which is very unsafe. Unless you're like over here and you hit with the tip of the toe, that's unsafe, right? I felt like you were trying to chase me, right? Instead of, you know, maybe doing something, you were trying to chase for the hit, right? And you know, Marisa is definitely not an oppressive character, right? She likes to stay at this range waiting for the opponent to maybe make a mistake, get more of the armor. See, you started hitting me with that a lot, right? A couple times you hit me with that. Your combo was excellent, but then you stop looking for things, right? Instead of looking for things that I was doing, I felt like you went into doing your thing, right? Constantly. And I think that's you should have a mix on, you know, I want to get in, I want to do my stuff, and then you need to slow down and wait for your opponent to make a mistake, right? Yeah, when you needed to stop and think and watch the resources, you didn't do it. I was with Ryu in particular. There was 2 rounds in which I was on yellow bar, and I just stayed here, and you didn't come looking for me, which you should be doing, because you know you should be looking for the burnout, right? So I think that resource management, not your resource management, because you didn't go into burnout as much, but how you watch your opponent's burnout bar is something that you should be really looking for as well, right? To get more burnouts, to get more situations, to get, you know, your opponent to get desperate to get out of situations, right? Also, your jump-ins were mostly this, right?
Yeah.
And I noticed that most of the time you did that, right? But you know, if you happen to hit like really low, you can combo with this, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you should be looking for that way more, instead of, you know, instead of just going for this into this, right? It's easier to confirm, I guess, but this has a lot more reward, right? Yeah, you cannot press it like super high. It needs to be really low instead. Lower, like you have to aim below the belt. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it doesn't need to be that low, but it works. So just do the medium afterwards. Oh, whoops. Now there you go, see? And then you can get a big combo out of it. More situation, more corner carry and stuff, right? Another buttons that I didn't see you use. Well, you never jump, by the way. So you never jump in situations like in neutral. You never jump. And I don't know if you noticed that I was just jumping at you, right? And because I saw that you didn't have anti-airs, I was like, yeah, well, I can keep doing it, right? This kind of information, you need to have this kind of information, right? So you need to know if your opponent is capable of anti-airing or not. If you never jump, you're never gonna get this information, right? But because there's situations like, for example, if I throw you here, and I want to do like a whatever, and I just try to throw you again, and you jump at that time, right? This is not really the situation in which you can see if your opponent can actually anti-air, right? So it's very important that sometimes you need to, well, especially at those ranks, right? You need to check if your opponent is capable of doing things, right? Once your opponent, or once they have shown that they can, you know, consistently anti-air you 2 times, then definitely you need to try and stop. So what's going on? Why you should be doing that as well, right? You're familiar with the term mental stack, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah.
So the thing about the mental stack, right? If something doesn't happen ever, it gets kind of removed from the mental stack, right? So if we are just here and we're, you know, exchanging stuff over here, and we keep the ground game, my mental stack is not gonna be paying attention to jumping in, right? If we constantly just stay in the ground, I won't be paying attention to the air, right? So you need to use that to your advantage, and sometimes, you know, jump, right? So the thing about this game is that I think that you shouldn't abuse something but you shouldn't take it out, right? I know jumping in it's a risk. Like you can get anti-air pretty easily, but what was that? Like, yeah, 1k damage, right? If I get this, right, into the super, that would be 40%, right? So I'm exchanging 40% of your life against like 10% of your anti-air, right? Unless you can do like a Gladius into level 3. That's something completely different, right? So it's relatively worth the attempt, right? Especially if your opponent keeps looking for something in particular, right? So if we are here playing neutral and I keep doing this, right? I keep doing this, I keep doing stuff like this, right? Well, I guess you could do that, but imagine if you cannot get the counter thing, right? So I'm doing, yeah, see? If I keep, my focus on the ground game, you can definitely try and get a jumping. So the jumping situation is very annoying for anybody because
I've got you.
if I jump at you and you block, right? Just block, right? If you block this, I'm +6, right? So that'll you know how it is, right? I jump at you, then it's a mix up between a throw or an attack, and you don't really know. No, the mix-up game is something that you definitely don't want to be at, right? Any questions so far? Anything you want to know in particular?
No, not really about, yeah. Like I know that. Well, I didn't like. I guess I just wasn't trying to jump. Yeah, like you said, because it's just generally risky. Like I do jump more when I'm on rank, but then it's just like, like I don't know. There's some matchups where it just becomes like everyone's jumping and it's all air to air, and it just gets really just wacky, and it's just like, what am I supposed to?
Yeah. Yeah, I have this concept, right? At lower ranks, like below 1500s, the game, most people, it's just chaos, right? And then it's the wackiness that you're talking about. Right? Everybody, yeah, it's doing the stuff. This, the game is just weird stuff, right? So the game is about who can keep an order in the match and win the match, right? So people is just gonna throw trash at you, right? The more you can deal with the trash that they throw at you, right? If you can get rid of the trash that they're throwing at you, then you will 100% win, right? That's chaos versus order kind of thing. But if you become chaos, then the way you win is not gonna be particularly, it's not gonna be good, right? You're just gonna be throwing things, and you'll be like, oh, I hit, then I win, right? Because Marisa is one of those characters that even if you match chaos with chaos, you can win because of the damage, right? But if you start thinking about the things that's happening in the game, right? If you see somebody jumping at you constantly, right? Then you should definitely set your mental stack into stopping that, right? Also, if you see them just going with this all the time, right? Then I guess you can stop it, right? But one of the most important things I think is that you learn how to just block. Learn how to just block. It's very, very important. So if I'm here, right? If I do this and I try to do this and do this, it's gonna start becoming frustrating for your opponent, right? And your opponent is gonna have to find ways that they are not used to in order to get to you, right? So, for example, I do this, then you block, then I'm gonna go and try and grab you, right? And then it's when you maybe start mashing, you get your hits, right? I might be start jumping in at you, right? Because I cannot find a way in, right? So sometimes just blocking is a very, very good resource to make your opponent make mistakes, right? Alright, something else about the psychology of the game. You know, your spacing with Marisa is decent, but you lose it way too fast most of the time, right? So we are here. You know, this is the range that you want to play Marisa as, right? You don't want to be here. Definitely don't want to people to be like up close with you. So you use this. You know, the standing medium kick is not useful, but it can help in getting space, right? So when we are here, do you know what this is for, right? The neutral dance.
The bait. Yeah, normals, right?
What are you looking for when you do this?
Someone to try to check your move. And yeah, like that.
Mm-hmm. Is that it? So, like you're just looking for a way to make a hit, or you know, waiting for your opponent to do stuff?
Pretty much just trying to bait it, make sure I maintain like the spacing where I can react to certain things. Like, for example, like if I'm here, I can't really like anti-air when you cross up jump, you know. But then if I'm further back, I can like.
All right. Let's make an exercise then. We're gonna play neutral, and I'm either gonna jump at you, right, or I'm gonna whiff this button, right? So you need to either anti-air or punish this, right?
All right.
Ready?
Yeah.
Well, that might be a little bit invalid because you thought it was a jump in. Oh, whoops. Alright, so here's to prove my point, right? You got out of, I don't know, let's say 15 things that I did to you. You could, I mean, the crouching heavy punch that you hit when I did this, I don't think it counts.
Doesn't count.
Yeah, but you got like 3 or 4 anti-airs at most. But what I want to point is that, you know, being in this range and being like, I'm trying to react to something, it's not that easy, right? So the game, you're just waiting here for a button to punish. You know, there's this idea of people, you know, I'm being here and I'm doing this because I want to whiff punish. Is not simple, and it's definitely not easy, right? So when you do this, what you should be doing instead is, you know, first of all, is manage your mental stack, right? What do you want to do, and how do you want to do it in terms of, you know, spacing, right? So if we are here, you know, I don't want to be, I want to be, you know, close enough to be able to hit you with a Gladius, but long enough for people not to hit this button and hit me, right? That's one of the things, right? Yeah, you definitely didn't. Now that I think about it, you didn't use Gladius as much, right? To check the distances, right? Another thing, you know, the mental stack, right? So at this range, at ranges like this, right? There's nothing that can possibly hit you easily, right? So maybe if you do a standing medium kick, you can hit with this, but most of the normals are gonna whiff at this ranges, right? So your mental stack should be focused on people trying to jump in at you, right? If they see that they cannot really, you know, get in at you, right? So if I do this, right, and you press like medium kick, or that or Gladius or whatever, and you never let me in, right? And I'm staying at this range, you can almost 100% guarantee that they will try to jump, right? So you should focus at stopping this, right? Because again, at this range, the area of contest, so to say, is only being contested by the jumping, right? I can possibly do this, or I can possibly do that, but you know, you just block those, and nothing's gonna happen. You know, neutral is not gonna break because of that. Then there's this, right? But I would 100% recommend you not looking to check the dry rush unless you already saw the pattern of your opponent. We'll get to that, right? So at ranges like this, if you already established your position and you're not letting your opponent get in with Gladius or whatever, then you need to focus on the entire, right?
Right.
Yeah, definitely you don't want to be, you know, whoops. You don't want to be doing stuff like that or stuff like this at these ranges, right? You don't want to be playing like this, right? And throwing Gladius into nothing, right? You need to, sometimes you need to just wait for your opponent to make the mistake of jumping in at you. But then there's these ranges, right? Right here. And, you know, this is already, you know, red area, right? When buttons start flying. So what you do when you're doing the dance is that you need to study your opponent. What is your opponent looking for? There's matchup information that you might know. Like for example, as against Marisa, at this ranges, I'm waiting for that, or for Gladius, right? So if you do that, right? If you do the forward medium punch at the wrong range, oh, whoops. And if I block it, then you cannot do anything, right? You shouldn't be able to do anything because it's a -3 button. I caught you once trying to go for something after that, and you know, that's a disrespect, right? You can you know, on block you shouldn't be doing, you know, stuff out of nowhere against that. But yeah, you definitely should be studying what's the pattern of your opponent. What is your opponent looking for most, right? And when can you actually, you know, make the interaction, right? So for example, if you go for the forward medium punch in there, right? I know that's a -3, so I'll be looking for, you know, maybe do this into this, and you know, try to apply pressure even if you block, right? But yeah, you need to study what your opponent is looking for, and you know, keep a recollection of what's the area that might trigger your opponent doing something, right? And you know, making a mistake. And you go in and out, watching your opponent and observing your opponent's you know, patterns, what they do, what button they press, when can you actually, you know, do your stuff. But if they definitely don't do anything, then you can start applying your game plan. So it's kind of a switch between applying your own game plan and watching your opponent for weaknesses and patterns, right? So the way I could, you know, reverse 3-0 you, well, the first matches I was super cold because I don't play in the mornings, but yeah, it was because I kind of guess that most of the things that you're lacking is how you watch your opponent, right? I don't think you watch your opponent enough. You don't observe your opponent, what they are doing, and how to counter what they are doing, right? You're mostly focused on your own game plan, right? You should focus in both things kind of at the same time, right? So you need to go from, you know, when you were doing great, it was when you know, when you were actually, you know, trying to, you know, be a little bit less aggressive, right? You tried to be less aggressive, then you saw the whatever punch came, and you did a couple of these, right? So that's pretty much the how you should be approaching neutral, right? Any questions so far? Anything you want to go over?
No, I mean that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. In terms of you play with a regular arcade stick, from what I heard.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty loud. But I mean, it's fine. I don't think there's anything in particular that I think that I need to tell you about your execution. I mean, when you did the the combo with this into this, it was pretty good. I noticed that you don't really need help with the execution. Or do you think you need to go over stuff, right?
I mean, I feel like I do drop certain things, like that. I drop it all the time, and I've been loving it a lot. Like, I've been just trying to just grind it out until I can get it, and then that's why a lot of times I'll just go like if I catch someone, I'll go straight into that. Instead of
Yeah. Try to do it again. Try to do that combo. All right. So we're in the training area, right? I'm almost a dummy. Try to perform that combo again. All right. One thing that I would recommend you when we are in these, this environment, when you're training, when you come into training and you want to try and improve your execution, try to make it as clean as possible, right? So if you do want to do this into this, it's only one button, right? So try to make it so that you don't need to mash things, right?
Yeah.
Especially in training, right? All right. Do a gladius. Do a couple light gladiuses. Are you doing the full half circle forward? Or are you, or is that how it comes out, right? Are you doing this on purpose, or are you trying to do this?
So I usually try to do the half circle, like if I'm trying to do it off of this. That's because otherwise a lot of times I just get
Yeah.
And like you see it sometimes I just go for that, and sometimes I do want to do it, but there's other times where I wanted to do gladius.
Yeah, this is annoying, but like if you want to do just gladius, right? Then it has to be just that, right? No, just do the quarter circle. Don't do the full half circle, right? I'm guessing, because I play on level less, then a little bit easier, yes, but yeah, I don't really think you need to clean your inputs. Your inputs are pretty much all right. You need to get used to finishing the motion, going to neutral, and pressing the button in this game. Right? That will avoid getting stuff like this, right? I don't know if it happens to you too much, but
like this.
Yeah, no. Oh, you have my the input history for me too, or
do I have it on?
Yeah, you should put.
I think it's just yeah.
Yeah, turn it on for. Right, so in order to avoid stuff like this, right? When you don't finish your motion and you press the button, right? But I mean, you're doing pretty okay, right? You should try and perfect your inputs though. Like if you want to do 10 gladius, you need to do 10 perfect gladius. Not with the half circle forward. All right. 3, 4. Oh no, you start over, right? But that happens. You just start over. 1, 2. Oh, whoops. So it's very important to know to maybe just go back to the basics sometimes when you're in training and do this thing, right? You only count if you get it like this. This counts, right? This doesn't count. And this doesn't this doesn't count either. Oh, hold on. This doesn't count either, right? You have to go to neutral, press the button. Right? And definitely don't, yeah, definitely don't want to do that. Alright, so another tip that I give people is that in training, slow down your inputs, your motions, and you know, when you're doing combos, try to slow them down as much as possible, right? So I can do the gladius like this, and it's super quick. But if I do it like super slow, then it will just come out as well, right? So it's very important to know, you know, that you don't need to. Most of the times, you don't need to go super fast. You know, it's better to train for accuracy, and then adding speed is gonna be second nature, right? So you start super slow, doing stuff, and you know, perfecting your input, right? And then you go for speed, right? Now do the phalanx. How do you do the phalanx? Yeah, same thing, right? What I tell people to do most of the time, I'm guessing you're not using any shortcut or anything, right?
No.
Alright, so you do forward into gladius, right? So this should be your perfect input, right? Again, slow it down, go into neutral before pressing the button, and get the perfect motion. I know it's a little bit more difficult on a regular arcade stick, but you need to be looking for that. No, that's not it. So yeah, it's just forward and then gladius, just that. Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go. Again, try to slow it down a little bit, just a tiny bit, for you to get the perfect motion. There you go. Yeah, when it doesn't come out, kind of need to stop and see what you're doing wrong, right? Or when it comes out messy like that. Right. So if there's like a too many frames between pressing forward and going into the gladius, and it's not gonna come out, right? Gladius is gonna come out, right? See? Alright, let's see what else in terms of execution. The double quarter circle forward for doing a super, right? So if you do this into this like that, do a quarter circle forward, then the next is gonna not quite like that. You're doing a triple quarter circle forward, right? I think that was a triple quarter circle forward. That's particularly useful for when you do combos, right? So if I do this, so if you look at my inputs, right, it's just a quarter circle forward for the gladius and another quarter circle forward for the super. And the funny thing is that it doesn't even matter for the game. The gladius doesn't even come out, and you already performed the super, and you just let it go, right? Okay, hold on, let me come here. So just do like gladius into super with 2 quarter circle forwards. Yeah. Well, it's very messy, right? But
Now you know
there you go. You know, I don't think inputs are really your issue. I mean, you can perform stuff even if they are a little bit messy. Whenever you want, you can do the stuff that you want to do. But if by any reason you want to you know, improve on those things, then do what I showed you. Right? Remember to go into neutral, right? Neutral into button, right? There you go. Yeah, just like that. Alright, alright, let's make another exercise. Alright, let's try and improve the footsie game. Come here. Alright, stay there. Stay at that line. I'm gonna start at this line. And only using normals. No jump ins, no DI, no drivers, no nothing. Just no normal. It can be any normal, right? It can be this or this, whatever. But just normals. It can be you can also use what's it called? Target combos, or whatever, but just normals. What we're gonna do is we're gonna try and push each other to the corner, only using normals. Alright?
Alright.
Ready?
Oh wait.
Alright, let's go.
Ready?
Go. Alright, corner. Hold on. There was another thing. We should play also to death, right? Alright. Alright, now put yourself in. No, just start in the middle. Alright, so it's either corner or death. Alright. Go.
Oh no! Stop.
Dead. Alright, go.
Oh, that's the thing. I keep spending so much effort trying to like not do specials.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's part of the exercise. Like how to control your character, and how to deal, and how to play footsies and neutral without, you know, throwing specials out. Because sometimes, sometimes, right? If you do Gladius at that range, right? Like if you do the light Gladius right there, do the light Gladius, right? I can, you know, some characters can punish you for doing that, right? So you definitely need to sometimes, I mean, most of the times you need to control your characters and make the characters do what you want to do, and not, you know, not autopilot stuff, right? The exercise is also for you to actually be able to watch and observe why you're getting hit sometimes, what you're doing, what buttons you're pressing, and what you're trying to do when you're getting hit, right? So for example, if I'm here, block. So if you block this, should I be able to throw this out? No, right? That's super crazy, because whatever comes out No, you can do a light or medium, and you will interrupt that, right? So the same thing applies on defense, right? So you need to be aware that when your opponent can press what button, right? So if I do this, the only thing I can do is that in order to avoid getting hit by a medium, but you can definitely react with a light, right? Not only that, but you know that this is a space trap, right? Do you use it as a space trap or not?
I usually like for that.
No, like block for a second. So if you do, this is a -3 button, right? So most people would try to check it with a light, right? Because I cannot press anything. If you do a light afterwards, I cannot do anything. But you shouldn't allow me to kind of continue pressuring you. Hold on, continue pressuring you like this, right? This is something that you should avoid, and most people just avoid, right? The problem is that if I space this correctly like that, and you press a light, you get space trap, right? So the way to counter that, right, is to press a crouching medium, and then you cannot do anything. But if you space it properly and I go for this, right, that'll happen, right? And that'll happen a lot, but a lot. So if you see people checking that button, but you need the thing is that you need to observe what your opponent does after that, right? If they keep pressing lights after that, right? If you space it properly and they keep pressing light, then you can definitely punish them. But if they go for the medium, right? If they go for this, or especially if they go for this, you need to be aware, right? If they go for the drivers, right? So another thing, well, it's not maybe with Marisa, but if you just block, then you will make people waste resources on that, right? Because they might go for the crouching medium kick into stuff, right? I know it's annoying to deal with people, just doing this in your face. But if you just block and they want to capitalize with a throw, then it's a 3 drivers bars for a throw, which is really bad, right? Alright, so talking about the spacing of things, right? So if I do this to you, block. So if I do this to you, right, and I push you right over there, I'm gonna be waiting and seeing if you press a light button or maybe a medium. Like if you press a crouching medium, see, you will be out of range. So I will also space trap you if you let me do this, right? The problem is that you shouldn't let me do this, right? In between that, you can press you can press that, right? So part of the exercise of playing just footsies and neutral is for you to be aware of these things, right? I'll want me to change characters in order to to make it make sense, right? Because how many times are you gonna play a Marisa, right? But that's the idea of this exercise, right? Let's do it one more time. Let's not do the death thing, and let's not use death. Let's use just corner. All right, ready?
All right,
go. Oh, cheater! Oh, also, you have to know these things. Like this is -8.
So it's like
Yeah, don't. Oh, do you have the frame meter on? You have the frame meter, yeah. All right. So this is -8, and because we have the rule of not doing a normal, then yeah, exactly. You can punish with almost anything, right? All right. Let's start over. All right, go. Ooh, nice. Oh. Nice. You're almost there. Yeah, corner. Alright, so another thing that I'm noticing is that when you get hit, right? When you get hit, you get too eager to press a button, right? And you know, if I get this, I'm +4. If I get this, I'm +2. And if I get a counter hit, then it's even worse, right? So you should try and what you have to learn about this also is when the neutral actually comes back, right? So if we're here and I do this to you, right? And if you block. So 2 frames after this happens, the neutral is reset, right? So you either press something in between, you know, in those 2 frames, you do something, or the neutral is reset, right? So I do this, and if you don't press anything, the neutral is reset, then I can go at it again, right? I can try and do something, right? If I try to do maybe a 12 frame button, I have to know that it can be interrupted by either fast, medium, or light. So I kinda, you know, rely on doing another medium, right? If I want to throw this thing out there, I'm gonna try and get some space in order for not to be interrupted by a light or medium. Then I throw this out there, right? Normally, you know, you go for medium, and if you see your opponent pressing too many mediums, then you try to stop them with lights, right?
Yeah.
Alright, let me use another character that will be really annoying for this exercise. But I've noticed that it's very, very difficult for me. Alright, go ahead.
Now, find a new rival.
Alright, let's do the exercise again. Alright? Alright, go. So the real problem about doing this exercise as Akuma is that Marisa's normals, they push me way too much, right? So as you can see, it's very, very hard for me to push you back, right? I can hit you, right? And you could possibly die because of these interactions, but
Shit.
but it's really hard for me to push you to the corner. Oh wow. You know you can punish this kick heavily, right? If you just crouch. Right?
Yeah.
Alright. Alright, you got cornered. Come here. Alright. Go at it again. Nice. Oh, nice. Oh, very nice. Alright, I got corner. Nice. So yeah, as you can see with Akuma, Akuma has better normals than Marisa, but the pushback is not so great, right? Alright, go.
Oh, I jumped.
Hoppa. Alright. Alright, well, if I hit you, then I guess I can, you know, can take advantage of that. Punish, yeah. Oh, whoops. That was a Hadouken coming out. Punish. Ooh. Oh. Punish. Nice. Remember, you're getting hit. Punish? I think. Hold on. Hold on. Alright. Block for a second. Just block. But this is minus 10. You definitely need to punish that. Alright?
Alright.
Let's go. Oh. Hold on. You cannot let a sweep go, right? So block. So if you block this, I'm minus 12, right? The problem is that most people will sweep you at this range, right? And yeah, you cannot do that, right? I definitely recommend you doing, well, you could do that, but that's very, very, very tight. I would recommend that, yeah, that. Just like that. For almost every sweep in the game, you can do that, right? You cannot let a sweep just go over and do nothing. Alright, let's see if I can ever finish this exercise. Nice. Oh, punish. You can punish this. Hold on. You can punish this. Crouch. So if you see this, you do crouching medium punch into standing medium punch target combo. Right? You don't need to wait for the like that. You don't need to wait for the second kick to finish. By the way, it'll whiff, right? It becomes weird when you're in burnout because the timing is very, very different. So you try to press the button at the time, but you're gonna have more blocks than it's gonna be different, right? But with this, you just press. Yeah, just like that. Alright. Is there any character you want to practice this against in particular? Or...
I feel like
Who?
I'm thinking like I was, because the thing is like the ones that I like play the most, I feel like I play against
Bison?
like Keith a lot. Well, Bison's all over the place. Like Bison would be a good one actually.
Alright. I don't know how to use Bison, but... Ah, yeah, I know a couple things that I can do to annoy you.
Now, find a new rival.
I don't now. I don't know. Island. Alright. Alright. Go. Cannot press. Cannot press. I mean, after this, hold on. Block this, block it, block this. I'm +1, right? So if I do this into this, then you cannot press, right? So the thing is that you can use this to your advantage, right? If you see, well, most Bisons are not gonna, let go of a +1, right? So you can go for an OD Gladius if you see this coming out way too much, right? Right. Well, yeah, I was gonna say that this can happen, but I mean, most of them they go for this, right? Right. But also what you can do is try to parry, right? Yeah, if you do it properly, you can get very easy those, right? Oh, whoops. There you go. See? What other thing they normally like to do? Well, if you have a bomb, then they will most likely go for this, right? So you either Audi Gladius or yeah. What else? Oh, this thing is also +1, so the same thing applies. You cannot just press, right? So you can try to parry whatever comes next, right? Let's see. This is also no. This is -1. Never mind. All right.
Punch is 0. I think that's it.
What?
Like his standing medium punch is 0. But yeah, I think he only has the 2+ buttons.
Yeah. And this is -1. So yeah. Alright, well, the thing that's gonna be very annoying for you is this thing, right? So this is -5. I think you can punish with a standing light punch.
Sending is 6. Don't have 5 this one.
Yeah, right. I think if you block that, then you can do that. Wait, hold on. Don't just block. Block for a second. I know this one that's punishable. Oh, this -4. Yeah, the medium one is -5. This one. I mean, if he is spaced improperly, then you can do that. But good Bisons will do this instead, right? You can neutral jump a lot and annoy him, right? That. Alright, come on. Let's do neutral. Alright. nice. All right. Yep. That's minus 1,000. Ooh, nice. What? Oh, this button is insane. Oh, whoops. My bad. Alright. This is an overhead, by the way, right? Oh, nice. Very nice. So the thing about this punch is that it comes out in 19 freaking frames, right? So if I'm really good at spacing, I mean, if the Bison's really good at spacing, they will go for it at this range, right? Right over here. If they do it at this range, then you can definitely just crouching medium punch, right? And it'll interrupt it relatively easy. Unless yeah, as I said, if I space it, then I can do that, right? But if they just spam it at the wrong ranges like this, right? I cannot. It's very, very hard to land it. See? Again, if you start throwing that crouching medium punch like that, then they will just throw it at this range, and then they will go for the punch, right? Ow. His crouching medium punch is also very, very annoying to deal with because it's 6 frames. It interrupts a lot of things. No, the corner. Right there. Alright, I got cornered. Alright. Well, because I don't know how to play Bison, we're gonna keep it short with Bison. I guess we talked about most of the things that he wants to do, most of the normals that he likes to use, right? Remember, this is an overhead, right?
Yeah.
Alright. So do you want to go over maybe some of your replays?
Sure.
Alright. Try and identify some issues that you might have. Uh, this part of the session, most of the time the recording it gets kind of weird, so I apologize. This recording is not okay. I'm gonna stream on Discord.
Okay.
Alright. Okay. So, what character do you think you want to watch? You beat this guy once, then a little bit later
Yeah. Yeah, Ed's. I don't know. That's an annoying matchup, definitely.
Ed.
Yeah.
Alright, let's watch. The thing about Ed that you need to know, well, he's very susceptible to DIs. Certain moments. You need to kind of abuse that and try to check when he's doing things that
Fight with all your heart.
that are DIable. Right? Alright. So alright, let's yeah, the Ed range. You need to know the Ed range first, right? He wants to play at that range. Is the range where he wants to play, right? So if you enter the Ed range, which is a little bit outside the Gladius range, this is gonna come out like 100%. That's gonna come out, and that's gonna interrupt your Gladius. So if you want to use Gladius in this matchup, you have to make sure that you're not in this range, right? You cannot try and go for medium or heavy Gladius and so long ranges, because he's gonna throw this thing. It's gonna be annoying. Nice. Alright, nice punish. Oh, why didn't you go for the yeah, you should have gone for the drive rush, back heavy punch into phalanx to get the safe jump. Right?
Safe jump.
So yeah, the option here should be clear because of the, you know, you have enough and healthy drive, and you know he's gonna be still lower than you if you go for the drivers. You use this option when you're in yellow, right? If you were in yellow and you went for this, I would have applauded you, because most people just go for drive rush without realizing on the resources. But alright, so now here's the situation I was talking to you about, right? The difference here in drive gauge, you have to go for this, right? You definitely shouldn't have jumped back there. Right? He was too far for a grab or whatever, and you lost a little bit of space there, right? Nice. Yeah, I was gonna tell you also that you need to commit in this matchup. You also need to commit a lot on the phalanx. Reversal. I'm not a huge fan of you know, jumping neutral or jumping backwards in the corner. Like, if you want to do anything, jump forward and try to get out of the corner at least, right? Oh no. Not enough life.
Yeah, like a lot of times I just kind of fall apart when I'm in the corner.
Yeah, I mean, Marisa's not so strong in the corner, but I noticed that you never tried to use drive reversal, right? You should have used drive reversal. At least try to use drive reversal. Alright, so the same situation applies but reversed. So you need to be careful about the amount of drive gauge you have and not commit too much on doing stuff, right? And recover that bar. Against this, after this, whatever option he can throw at you, you can OD Gladius, and you will most likely hit him out of it.
And he does the fireball. Like when he did the fireball, like that's a good spot for the OD Gladius.
Yeah, you should have OD Gladius right there. I think you can also OD Gladius in between the the last hit of the target combo into the spark. I think, right? I'm not 100% sure anymore. I think that's a what's it called? A block string. Sometimes if he misses space it, like if you're a little bit further behind, then his spark will whiff. But if you throw something, you will eat the spark. So you need to wait a little bit, and then you can crouch medium punch as well. But it depends on the space, right? You block those. Oh no. Corner. Corner game is very, very hard. The lack of reversal. Uh-oh.
Fight with all your heart.
Overall, I think it can become a very difficult matchup because of the distance that he likes to play. Like it's the same distance that you like to play, but he's not gonna whiff things.
I've got you.
All right, drive gauge.
Your audio
Bracket.
cut out.
Hello? Can you hear me? I'm gonna stop the